It's going to sound so cliche to say, but time has really flown by over this past month. I feel like I blinked my eyes and now here I am sitting in my studio back in Wisconsin where there's a massive storm happening and I'm recording a video for being 1 month post-op. It's just crazy how quick that time has gone by. I feel like it's something where you work so hard to get to that point in your life, and it's there, and then it happens, and then it's over, and it's just this really weird thing. Not weird in a bad way, it's weird in a good way, but like learning to adapt to your new body and to really just feel everything that you're feeling and going through. But I want to just kind of give you guys an update of how things are going, how my chest is looking. So I will do a close-up of my chest so you all can see. I will do a little bit of a warning in advance because the nipples are still healing. They don't look bad, but they don't look great, So I'll give a little bit of warning before I show the nips. So I'm not going to talk too much in depth of my whole recovery of the past month, and I didn't really make any videos from this past month other than the ones that I have already uploaded. And I chose to do that because I really wanted to just take some time for myself, and I really wanted to process all the emotions and all the feelings I was going through as far as being post-op and dealing with being in recovery. Because there were some really intimate moments that happened throughout this past month. Like, for instance, taking the tape off of my incisions. I wanted to save that moment for myself, and I'm happy I did that because I really didn't know how I was going to react. Honestly, I didn't know if I was going to pass out because there were a few times throughout this past month where I kind of blacked out, and it was due to pain and due to seeing blood and stuff like that. I don't do well with it, so the drains that were in me, they were not that fun to have around for a week. But last week around, I don't know, like Thursday or so, I was in my studio. I was actually recording a video, and this totally killed the mojo of it because I almost blacked out. This is the other reason why I almost blacked out, the second reason. I looked down and there was some blood on my incisions, and my incisions are like they're fully closed. They have been since like week 2, and so there was no reason as to why it should have been bleeding, and it wasn't bleeding a whole lot, but it was enough where it made me kind of like panic a little bit. But I was really short of breath, and I had to go in the bathroom, and I was like, dabbing it, holding it there, and then I had to sit down because I was gonna pass out, and Brianna wasn't home. She was at work, so it was just me, and I was stoked to make a video, and then that didn't happen. So this week I am taking it easy. I did not do anything this past weekend. It was our anniversary, and we kind of just laid low, and it was really nice to not go out and do something crazy like we always do. There's a snowstorm that came through Wisconsin, and I probably could have drove yesterday, but I didn't want to risk it just in case. And so I've been really listening to my body, and that's something that is hard for me to do because I want to get back in the groove of things, but I also have to listen to my body, and I have to know when my limits are, because the whole bleeding thing, that scared me a lot. I paid $8,000 some to have this chest, and if I were to screw anything up with it and it was my fault doing it, I would never forgive myself. I would forgive myself, but that I want to have the best outcome that I can. But anyways, so it's fine. Bleeding stopped. It didn't last long. It wasn't that much, but it was enough to scare me, like I said. But because that happened, I definitely stopped the scar treatment stuff right away. I ended up getting the Scar Guard stuff that Dr. Giramoni recommends. And then I also have the strips, some Scar Away strips, but I don't really like the strips a whole lot. Sticky stuff is not liking my body at all. I'm I'm like breaking out a lot. I have blisters all over my chest. It's gone down quite a bit because there's not as much adhesive on me. And I know that the Scar Away silicone strips, they won't do anything likely, but I took those off and then it started to bleed, and I don't know if that plays into it, so I'm just kind of staying away from that. So I've literally only been putting Neosporin on my incisions because I don't want to screw anything up. Neosporin already has vitamin E in it, which is nice. I could probably put just straight up vitamin E oil on it, but I want to play it safe, so I'm just using Neosporin, which is kind of a bummer because I want to get going on the scar treatment stuff, but at the same time, like I said before, you pay a lot of money for this and you don't want to screw it up, so I don't want anything bad to happen to my body. I was going to talk about the emotional side as far as like my mental health goes, but I think that's a video for itself. I think that's a one topic video because that can go down a rabbit hole. But if anyone is curious about that, I would be more than happy to share a video of my own experiences. And I'm doing good mentally. Don't worry about me. I'm doing totally fine mentally, but it has been a very emotional process for me. And it's been more emotional than I thought it would be. And that's kind of interesting in itself. So now it's time for the show and tell part. So I'm going to be including some photos that I took throughout the past month so you guys can see what my chest has looked like, what my nipples look like throughout a month period. And then I'm going to be doing the live show and tell of my chest and where it's at right now. I do want to say too, you guys should also follow me on Instagram if you're wanting to see more regular posts of me and my chest, because I typically post that on Instagram because, you know, it's Instagram. This is what my chest looks like 1 month post-op, and I am very, very pleased with the outcome of it. I was really nervous at first because the first 2 weeks or so I couldn't really look at my chest without feeling faint. So I'm very happy to see that it's healing up as well as it is. Even the bruising has gone down quite a bit. And I'm still a bit sore, but it's nothing that I can't handle. It's nothing like the first 2 weeks of being post-op. And here's a close-up of the nipples. I am just very stoked that I have 2 nipples. So that's awesome. They didn't fall off. And I think both of my nipples look really, really good. I'm very pleased with how they are healing up. And I've been really babying them, making sure that they're okay and ready for the world. So I would assume within like the next week or so they'll be fully healed. Both of the drain holes healed up within a matter of 2 or 3 days or so. I did have to keep a band-aid and Neosporin on the right side because that was having a little bit more of a harder time healing up, but it didn't take long. That was probably the quickest and easiest part of this entire process to heal. I will say that my sides were really sore though, and they still are pretty sore around the incisions. And as you can see, my skin is really, really irritated. There's a little mark right here that was from a blister from Band-Aids actually, so my skin had a really bad reaction to some Band-Aids. And there's even a little bit over there. My skin is just overall really irritated up here, but it is getting better, especially without having to wear the ACE bandage that compresses your chest. That was really, really starting to irritate me, and that's another weird thing about surgery. I don't think I can ever shake the smell of that. So I feel like I reek of the ACE bandage along with surgery, so imagine how fun that is. Where I was bleeding was right around here, and I'm not even kidding. It was like a tiny little pinhole when you really looked at it. And I haven't had any issues with it yet, but as you can see, that's the side that's more flared up than the other side. So it caused me some concern, but I was keeping an eye out on it and it was fine. There were some stitches right around here that did take some extra time to heal up, but that's all healed now and everything's fine with that. I will say around my nipples, I do have a little bit of numbness where I don't have much feeling. And it's kind of bizarre because I can feel like somewhat of pressure, but I can't necessarily feel like if my hands were cold and I was touching it. Or like band-aids, if band-aids fall off, I don't notice when a band-aid falls off. So that's kind of dangerous. And hence blisters happening and not realizing that I was blistering up. But yeah, this is what my chest looks like 1 month post-op. So that's where I'm at with everything as far as the healing goes of my chest, and I am so incredibly stoked and happy how my chest is looking. There have been some hiccups throughout the process like I talked about, but for the most part, everything has been really positive. Things are healing up really nicely, and I am just so excited to be able to just feel like me, feel like myself. That's one thing with having top surgery. Even though it's been only a month being post-op, I feel like this is how my chest has always been. And I know that seems so weird to say, but it feels like this is how it's supposed to be. This is natural to me. And I'm gonna wear my scars really proud. In a way, it's like a reminder of the fight that I had to go through to get to this point today. And it's metaphorically speaking, it's really beautiful when you think about your scars like that. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and you can also share it. Subscribe to my channel. I will do a video soon, and if you guys have any ideas for any videos or you have any questions about top surgery, please feel free to let me know either in the comment section below or on my Instagram. You can shoot me a message on Instagram. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a safe and wonderful few days ahead. All right, thanks guys, bye.